everybody. My name is Angelina, and I am your spiritual alignment coach. I'm going to kind of give a couple of minutes to kind of let all the things sync up because I found that sometimes the audio takes a second to go into full stream. So I'm going to just talk for a second and say hello. Those of you who have never done a live with me before, welcome. Or done a live reading with me before, welcome. I do have some rules and regulations that I'm probably going to go over a couple of times while I'm doing this live, just to kind of remind people that there is some ethics. There are some rules and regulations around doing live readings here with me on YouTube. So I kind of want to let everybody know this space, this arena is meant to be a free resource for all of you. This is something that I volunteer my time for. I volunteer with love and with compassion for all of you. I do also have a business where I provide paid readings and provide paid channelings and mediumship and all those kinds of things. So that is a separate thing. So on these lives, I pull one card, I give one message unless the deck really wants to give more messages. And so if you want something more in-depth, then you will need to schedule that with me or wait till the next live to ask a second question. So one question, one card, one message. And that's kind of what I do for these lives, just as like a complimentary service. For those of you who are popping in, make sure you say hi in the comments so that I can say hello. Also, if you would like a card pulled, please let me know. Or if you have a question you want answered, this is a great time for you to ask any of those questions. So I do have a new deck that I'm super excited to reveal to you guys. I am not pulling cards from this deck yet because I don't know this deck yet. But I am going to show you guys this cool new deck because I'm super excited about it. Now, the caveat to that is I'm not selling this deck. I don't know where you can buy this deck. I'm sure Amazon or something like that. It's awesome. It's beautiful. But like I said, this is a totally free place. I don't sell anything here. So if you want to know where I bought it at Crystal Spirit, which is in Tacoma, Washington. That's where I buy most of my metaphysical stuff. And that is where I happen to have bought this crystal deck, or rather this fairy deck for the feminine energy. So I'm super excited about showing you that today. And that's just kind of something I'm going to do in between giving readings if there are people who want readings here today. So I mentioned some of the sort of rules around around readings here on the page: one card, one question, one message. The other part of that is when I am giving somebody a message, I do ask that out of respect for the person I'm reading for, that we just kind of pause the comments. So when I'm done reading for somebody, you're welcome to say anything that you want to say. But while I'm giving a reading for somebody, I just ask that you allow for that time. So I believe everybody deserves our 5 minutes of undivided attention. And so that's kind of what I'm about here. So I'm going to just show you guys this new deck. It is called the Queen Mab Oracle deck, and it's by Tess Winehurst. So I'm going to show you. It is the Divine Feminine deck. And I'm really excited to show it to you guys because it's a new deck. So I did look through it kind of briefly, but I haven't actually started connecting with the deck or doing anything like that. So, and if you're interested in learning how to connect with an Oracle deck or a tarot deck, please let me know that in the comments, and I can do like a kind of a down and dirty kind of a thing here on the channel, or I can do a full video about how to connect with your Oracle or tarot decks, how to pick your decks. That's a really important question I get asked a lot. So every tarot deck, every oracle deck that you're ever going to get is going to come with a book or a pamphlet of some kind that's going to tell you what each card is about. Okay, it's going to tell you how to work with the deck. So this particular one tells you how to prepare your deck for use, and it's got a whole instructional thing. So it's really cool for anybody who's beginning with oracle decks or tarot decks to buy a deck that has a full book, because it's going to explain everything. Now, even the pamphlets explain everything, but I like the books better. It makes me feel smart. So I like the books. But it's pretty cool. And it also tells you how to do like a weekly reading or a morning reading for yourself. So most people who do readings like therapeutically or for paid sessions or whatever, they also do it for themselves. So I'm no different. I pull cards for myself almost every day, if not once a week, just to kind of assist me as I move forward on things. So this deck, I got to take this little, it comes with like a little thing that keeps all the cards together. So I got to take that thing off. So I used to do these like unboxings all the time and just kind of start pulling cards for people on the live. And I can do that. Just know that I don't know this deck very well. So it's going to be an experience for all of us. So again, this is the Queen Mab Oracle deck. It is a fairy deck. So if any of you have worked with fairy decks before, you know that they can be a little they can be a little tricky. Okay, they're not exactly like my angel deck. My angel deck is like super love and light and sweet and goodness and all the wonderful things which I love about it. This deck, from what I've seen so far, is it's a little bit more like get it together, get your head in the game, quit messing around. That's kind of this deck. So I'm going to show you guys each of the cards as I go through here. Make sure that if you're watching to like this video. I always forget to say that. Like this video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hitting that little bell so that you get notified anytime I go live. If you would like to just pop in and say hi, make sure you leave me a little comment here on the side. If you would like a card pulled or have specific questions about how to use Oracle decks, how to pick a deck, how to cleanse a deck, how to connect with a deck, any of those things, let me know that in the comments and we can talk about that. Okay, so my cat just walked by over there. So I'm like, oh, my cat. Okay, anyway. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the very first card of this deck. It says, herein lies wisdom. I want to try not to blind you. It's a really, really pretty card. It's actually super interesting. I'm not going to read through the whole book. I used to like read every single card to everybody, and those lives just ended up getting really long. And so I don't want to take up too much time just giving you guys all the content of this Oracle deck. But the very first card here, as you can see, it's sort of a little bit darker, talking a little bit more about the wisdom of our choices and wisdom of our path. The second card here is the Protector of the Realm. So again, you can see this kind of has a little bit of a darker aesthetic. It does have some lighter cards, but you can tell, renew thy force. I just think these cards are really pretty. Like, I'm just kind of in love with this deck already. Like I said, I looked through it briefly the other day because I don't have patience at all. But I just am super excited to share it with you guys, and eventually probably next week. And that card is the Sacred Radiance. Probably next week I'll be able to actually pull cards from this deck so that you guys can get some cool messages from the Fae. And this is Listen to the Moon. And we are going to be talking a little bit more about the new moon because that's coming up. And if you're like me, you're definitely feeling its effects. This next one is Killed with the Living Death. So I don't know what all these cards mean yet, but I am super excited to know. This particular Oracle deck has 45 cards. Wild Watery Sea. Hey, what are you barking about? Honey. They smell a cat, I think. Hey, Abby. Ugh. Honey? You guys want to come say hi? Come here. Honey, come. Abby. Good. Good puppies. Come on. Okay. All is well. All right. The Wrath of Love is the next card. Darkness as a Bride. Now like I said, some of these cards are a little dark. They're a little bit more like shadow worky. Make not your thoughts your prison. Man, is that in tune with the theme of this week? Make not your thoughts your prison. Hold on, everybody. The Rose of Youth. Ironically, I can't see because I'm getting old. Strange Invisible Perfume. It's very bright. A Most Prosperous Perfection. The Winged Messenger. So what I'm going to find out as I go through this deck is that there's sort of a color theme. Is what I'm kind of noticing. Love, lend me wings. There's definitely a lot of really positive messaging from this deck so far. Oh, my camera doesn't like the darker cards. That's funny. Queen of Queens. So maybe I'll just hold them farther. And again, this is the Queen Mab Oracle deck. Thee I Will Love. Proud and Pitiless. Card 18. Some of the artwork for these decks is just amazing. Like, I don't know how people come up with these. Like, I don't know. I don't think I could do it. There is my pledge. Thou art a witch. I'm so excited to read the meaning of these cards because, like, some of these cards have some really cool captions. Oh, hello, honey. Would you like to say hi? Come here. Honey hasn't been on a live in a while. Oh, well, she's not going to be on a live today because she's under the table, so never mind. Heart is bleeding. So I'm guessing this is some sort of loss card. We'll definitely find out. The Spirits Riseth. This is kind of creepy. Kind of a creepy one. Got some skulls. Beauteous Freedom. So there's lots of different ways to read these cards. Like I said, the way that I do any deck that I ever get is I learn the book first. Okay? Like, yeah, I am that person. I read the book. I know what the book says the cards mean. But on the flip side of that, or rather in addition to that, each of these cards has some pretty clear imaging of what it's going to be about. Like this one is Spangled Starlight Sheen, right? And there's a flute. So my thinking is this card is probably something about raising your vibration with music, or like a memory, a distant memory, and dreaming and kind of being in a place where you want your manifestations to come to light, but it's such a far away feel, right? I don't know if that's exactly what this card is intended for, but when I read the book, I'm definitely going to find out if my intuition is correct about that card. And of course, whatever you want to do with the cards, whatever you make the meaning for, that's what you use the cards for, right? But I like to know what the intention of the maker of the deck has. So the maker of this deck was Tess Whitehurst. Okay, we have Angelic Fiend. This card is super creepy, but it's cool. I'm excited to know what this is about. As Destiny Decrees. Okay, so this is definitely probably more about like karmic debts and right, like your path and knowing what you're supposed to be doing, and really knowing what it is that you want to do so that you can move forward. But again, we'll find out next week. Flower of Warriors. Very cool. So not all artwork is created equal. I have some decks where the artwork is just there's just something to be desired there, right? But these cards are absolutely gorgeous. I'm really in love with this deck. I can't wait. These Violent Delights. So remember, this is a fairy deck. So there is going to be a lot of kind of fairy imagery. The Queen in Bondage. So you can see this is sort of a fairy theme. There we go. Oh man, the camera. Okay, I probably won't show that many more because the camera keeps fading out, and I'm sure that's probably annoying. A vision full of majesty. And the Falcon's Flight. Roses have thorns. Something rich and strange. A dream of love. Everlasting farewell. This is probably my favorite, like, imagery card wise. It's just gorgeous. I love the oranges. Extremity of rage. Not sure what that card's about, but we're going to find out. You got to have dynamics in decks, I suppose. Welcome, Dread, Fury. I'm going to kind of show this card briefly. The Sea Maid's Music. Her Pale Fire. I'm almost done. Love all, trust a few. Well, that's pretty explanatory, I suppose. Ooh, this is pretty. The Forgeries of Jealousy. Why do the prettiest cards have to be like the darkest ones? It's kind of hard to see. Venus in the Sky. Raging Fire of Fever. This, I'm guessing, is about passion of some kind. Follow darkness like a dream. And Dive into the Fire. This is the last card. Very cool. I'm super excited to learn about this deck. So next week, I will be doing readings from this deck, hopefully, if the stars align. Today, I just wanted to show you guys this new deck so you can see kind of what it's like to get something new. What is the main things that I look for in a deck? So when I was at the store and I was looking at decks, I actually wasn't going to buy a deck. I went to the store to buy some crystals. Skull site for the video that I did yesterday. But I ran across this deck and I had to stop and I had to look at it and it just resonated with me. So I decided I was going to take it home. So this is the new deck. So I'm super, super excited. You never really know what you're going to get when you buy a deck, right? Because there is a description on the back and all that stuff, but you never know if it's going to be exactly what you hope for, what you need to work for. Sometimes, there's been lots of times actually where I've gone to buy a tarot deck or an oracle deck and I end up gifting it to somebody else because it doesn't resonate with me, but it resonates with somebody else. So just know that if you ever do buy a deck and it doesn't resonate with you, that's super normal. These things have a way of finding the right person, and like you might just be a kind of like a conduit for the right person. So, the back of the deck, this is what it says. Hold on, let me put my glasses on so I can actually tell you. Okay. From all such stuff that dreams are made of, your answers are on their way to you on the wings of an endless midsummer's night. Something blessed this way comes, powered by the earth, the wind, and the divine radiance of the fairy queen, which is Queen Mab. Ancient and powerful Queen Mab is an elemental emissary of charm, moonlight, and manifestation. Turn to her for meaning, revelation, and insight into the poetry and empowerment at play within all that is, and all that you shall become. So it's really cool. And also, so for this deck, not all decks are like this, but this one has a little inscription on how you can activate your deck. keeping in mind, like, there's so many different ways of working with Oracle, working with spirit guides, working with everything, right? So this particular person has intentionally placed this for beginners. So, like, for those of you who have never used Oracle deck, never used tarot deck, have no idea what I'm talking about, this would be a great deck for you because it's so clear. This is what you do right here. Right? There's no ambiguity here on how you can work with this deck in the way that the author intended. So the inscription here is, Queen Mab, I hear and embody your wisdom so that I may own my divinity and affirm magic in the world. So that's kind of cool. That's how you use this deck. So I just really resonated with it. I was really excited about it. I'm still excited about it. It's going to be a really cool deck to use for readings as well. So I am still doing readings today. I am here to talk about the new moon in Scorpio. Oh no, the chat feature is disabled. Hold on, let me see if I can fix that. Hold on, everybody. I can change this somehow. Maybe. How do I do that? How do I do that? Oh, here's me talking. Hold on. Okay. If I go to... Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it. How did I do it before? I'm in my channel. Go to settings, maybe. Man, where's Sarah when you need her? Sarah used to help me figure this out. Live, maybe. Go to settings. Poop. More. Hey, if any of you watching know how to turn that, how to change that, let me know. Wonder if I have to pull it up here. Hold on. Technology is so fun. Oh, you can't tell me. I just realized the chat thingy. Okay, how do I change this? Okay, so, shoot. Man, YouTube sure does make things hard, doesn't it? Because if I click on it, more, nope. That is so weird. I don't know why it did that. Maybe if I go to studio and if I go to content, oh, it doesn't have it yet. Weird. Well, then that just means I have to stop this live and I'll start a new one. Okay. So those of you who are watching, stay tuned because I'm going to cancel this live. I'm going to start a new live and then we'll be back. We'll be back doing readings. Okay. So everybody give me 45 seconds. Okay. Bye, everybody.